Imagine stepping into your later years not with dread, but with curiosity, wondering not what you'll lose, but what you might gain. Picture yourself not in a place of decline, but at the edge of reinvention. It's a season where wisdom runs deep and life can still surprise you, if you choose how to shape it. For many older adults, the idea of aging carries a quiet fear, not just of illness or frailty, but of losing control, of becoming a burden, of fading into the background of a life once vibrant. The mind conjures an image: a stark room in a nursing home, the days governed by someone else's clock, the walls unfamiliar and the silence loud. But what if that doesn't have to be your story? What if aging could feel like coming home, not just to your house, but to yourself? What if there were ways to grow older with your independence intact, your dignity untouched, and your heart full of connection? In this video, we're going to explore exactly that. 5 powerful alternatives, not abstract theories or one-size-fits-all advice, but real, practical pathways that people just like you are already choosing and thriving because of them. These strategies are grounded in one truth: you deserve to age with agency, to make your own choices, live in your own space, and stay connected to the life and people you love. Whether you're fiercely independent, quietly introspective, or somewhere in between, these approaches are designed to meet you where you are and help you stay there. So if you've ever found yourself wondering how to avoid the sterile halls of institutional care, if you've ever wished there were a gentler, more human way to grow older, stay with me. This journey is for you. Let's begin. First, co-housing or shared living arrangements. Close your eyes and imagine waking up to the smell of freshly brewed coffee and the soft murmur of a friendly voice down the hall. Not a facility, not a hospital wing, but a real home. One where laughter floats through shared meals, help is only a knock away, and the rhythm of your days is still your own. This is the beauty of shared living arrangements. A path where aging doesn't mean isolation, but connection, where independence isn't sacrificed. It's strengthened by community. For many older adults, the thought of living alone becomes heavier over time. The rooms grow quieter, the days more repetitive, and while solitude has its peace, it can slowly turn into loneliness, a weight that saps energy and spirit. Yet the opposite, moving into a care facility, often feels too drastic, too impersonal, too far removed from the life you've built. Co-housing offers a gentle middle ground. This model isn't about giving up control. It's about choosing who and how you live with others. It might look like moving in with a lifelong friend, splitting the chores, the grocery bills, and the morning paper. Or it could be joining a small, intentional community of older adults who each have their own space, but gather regularly in a shared kitchen or garden. It's about designing a life where you're surrounded by people who see you, know you, and lift you up. Take Richard, for instance, a retired firefighter with hands that still remember the grip of a hose and a voice that once barked orders in emergencies. After his wife passed, silence crept into his home like a fog. His daughter, sensing the shift in him, suggested something bold: move in with 2 old friends from his firehouse days, and he did. Now, Richard's mornings begin with pancakes sizzling on the stove, card games after lunch, and evenings filled with projects and stories that echo with laughter. His house isn't just filled with people, it's filled with life. Financially, co-housing makes sense too. Shared expenses mean more breathing room in your budget. But even more than money, it gives you emotional dividends: companionship, purpose, presence. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Some find joy in living with family, welcoming in a daughter and her children, creating a home layered with generations. Others seek established co-housing communities where shared values and routines create deep bonds. Whether casual or structured, urban or rural, big or small, there's a version of shared living that can work for you. What matters most is that it puts you back in the driver's seat, in a world that often separates and segments older adults, cohousing weaves you into the tapestry of everyday life. You're not warehoused or overlooked. You're seen, heard, and needed. If your heart longs for connection and your spirit for freedom, this path might be your perfect balance. Second, live-in companion or exchange programs. There's a kind of silence that doesn't come from peace. It comes from absence. The absence of footsteps, laughter, conversation. For many older adults, that quiet settles in slowly until even the TV feels too loud and the days too long. But imagine, instead, a home that hums gently with life again, not chaotic, not crowded, just warm. A voice calling, "Want a cup of tea?" A presence that makes the walls feel less empty. This is the heart of living with a companion. Unlike full-time caregivers or institutional staff, a living companion is someone who shares your home and helps lighten the load. Not out of obligation, but through mutual connection. It's not just about having someone to help cook dinner or take out the trash. It's about having someone to share the dinner with. Some people hire companions through agencies, trained individuals who provide practical support with a side of humanity. Others choose a different route. Exchange programs, where younger adults, often students or professionals, receive affordable housing in exchange for lending a hand around the house. It's a beautiful bridge between generations. Take Walter, an 82-year-old widower with a workshop full of tools and a heart still mending from loss. After his wife passed, the silence in his home wasn't just lonely, it was deafening. Through a local home-sharing program, he met Mark, a 28-year-old grad student studying environmental science. Mark needed a place to live. Walter needed company and a bit of help with errands and yard work. Now, the house has found its heartbeat again. They share meals, tell stories, and challenge each other to chess games that neither of them lets the other win easily. Mark helps Walter figure out video calls with his grandkids. Walter teaches Mark how to sharpen a blade and fix a leaky faucet. They've become more than housemates. They've become each other's unexpected gift. Studies show that companionship strengthens memory, reduces depression, and even improves physical health. But beyond the research, there's the simple truth: being seen and heard every day makes life brighter. Of course, this path requires compatibility. The right match matters. Some prefer a younger housemate full of energy and curiosity. Others feel more comfortable with someone closer in age who understands the rhythm of their days. Whether you find a companion through an agency, a nonprofit, or your own personal network, the key is choosing someone who fits your life, not disrupts it. In the end, this isn't about filling a space. It's about filling a gap in the heart. If you've been craving connection, but unsure how to invite it in, a live-in companion might be your answer. Not just to stay independent, but to stay inspired. Third, home modifications to age in place. Your home is more than just walls and a roof. It's a part of you. It holds your memories, your milestones, your quiet mornings and holiday dinners. It's where your life happened. And for many, the thought of leaving it behind can feel like letting go of a piece of themselves. But what if you didn't have to? What if that same home could grow with you, adapting to your changing needs, offering comfort instead of challenges, and safety instead of risk? That's the power of aging in place through home modifications. As we age, everyday routines that once felt effortless can become small obstacles. A steep staircase, a narrow hallway, a slippery tub. These things that once went unnoticed can slowly erode our confidence and independence. But with thoughtful, targeted changes, your home can remain a sanctuary, not a hazard. Start with the bathroom, often the trickiest room in the house. Replacing a traditional tub with a walk-in shower can eliminate the risk of dangerous climbs. Add in grab bars that feel sturdy and smart, not like hospital equipment, but like thoughtful design. Non-slip flooring, soft lighting, and even a raised toilet seat can turn a stress-filled space into one that feels safe and familiar again. Then move to mobility. If stairs are a challenge, a stairlift can become your silent helper, gliding you to the second floor where your bed, your books, your comforts await. Ramps at entryways make coming and going smooth, not daunting. Wider doorways and open floor plans create flow and ease for walkers or wheelchairs. Technology can lend a hand too. Voice-activated lights, smart thermostats, and video doorbells add a layer of control and safety without sacrificing your independence. And small tweaks, like rearranging furniture to clear paths, improving lighting in dark hallways, or placing everyday items within easy reach, can have a big impact. Let's meet Shirley. She's 81, sharp as a tack, and still bakes the world's best cinnamon rolls. But when her knees began to ache and stairs turned painful, she thought she might have to leave the home where she raised her children. Instead, her son installed a stairlift and lowered her kitchen counters. Just like that, the oven was hers again, and the smell of cinnamon once more filled the air. These changes don't erase your age. They embrace it. They say, "You matter enough to stay here, in the place that knows you best." Home modifications aren't just practical, they're powerful. They say you don't have to give up what you love to stay safe. You don't have to move out to move forward. If you've ever looked around your house and wondered, "Can I really stay here?" The answer might be yes. With the right tools, some creativity, and support from family or local programs, your home can continue to be exactly what it's always been, your place in the world. Fourth, community-based senior programs sometimes. What keeps us going isn't just our heartbeat. It's being part of something larger than ourselves. It's sharing a laugh, attending a gathering, feeling like we belong. And as we grow older, staying connected to a vibrant community isn't just nice to have. It's essential to our well-being. Community-based senior programs offer exactly that, a way to stay woven into the fabric of everyday life, without giving up the comfort of your own home. For many older adults, the fear of losing independence is matched only by the fear of isolation. Days blur together, the phone rings less often, and the world seems to shrink. But it doesn't have to be that way. Your community might be holding a lifeline. Just outside your front door, think of a local senior center not as a place where people sit quietly, but as a hub of energy and connection. It might be home to yoga classes where gentle stretches help ease stiff joints, art workshops where paintbrushes bring joy back to shaky hands, or book clubs that reignite your love for storytelling. You walk in, and you're greeted not just by staff, but by neighbors who know your name, who share your laughter, and who remind you you're still very much part of this world. Beyond the walls of these centers, other community programs bring help directly to you. Take Meals on Wheels, for example, a service that delivers warm, nutritious meals right to your doorstep. It's not just about food. It's about care, about someone checking in, even briefly, to remind you that you're not forgotten. Transportation services are another game changer. When driving no longer feels safe, or when icy sidewalks keep you from the bus stop, local shuttles and volunteer drivers step in. Whether it's a doctor's visit, a trip to the market, or a grandchild's school play, these services keep you mobile and free. Meet Margaret. At 77, she had to give up her car keys. Sundays at church and her weekly book club slipped away, and with them, a piece of her joy. That is, until she discovered her town's senior transportation service. Now, a cheerful driver named Tom picks her up in a bright van and whisks her to events she loves. Her calendar is full again, and so is her heart. Community programs don't just offer assistance, they offer belonging. Some include friendly visitor programs, where volunteers stop by for a chat, play a game, or simply listen. Others offer respite care, giving family caregivers a chance to rest, knowing their loved one is safe and supported. If you've ever felt like the walls were closing in, or like the world was moving on without you. Know this: you're not alone. There are programs designed with you in mind, waiting to lift you up and bring you back into the flow of community life. You still have so much to give and so much to receive. First, home-based care assistance. Imagine sitting in your favorite chair, the one molded to your shape over years of quiet afternoons and page-turning novels. Outside, the world continues its hurried pace, but inside, you're surrounded by familiar walls, cherished photographs, and the smell of your own morning coffee. This is your sanctuary, and with the right kind of help, it can stay that way. Home-based care assistance isn't about giving up your independence. It's about preserving it. Many people assume that needing help at home is the first step toward institutional care, that asking for assistance means surrendering control. But in reality, it's quite the opposite. Knowing when to invite in support is one of the strongest, wisest moves you can make. It allows you to live on your own terms, in your own space, with a rhythm that still feels like yours. Support at home comes in many forms. It might be someone who pops in twice a week to help with chores, vacuuming the living room, folding the laundry, or preparing a fresh meal. It could be a steady hand to help you get dressed in the morning, or a friendly ride to the grocery store. Or it might be full-time care from someone who becomes a trusted presence, blending into your days like a quiet melody. Take Frank, a 7-year-old retired teacher with a booming laugh and a garden full of tomatoes. After his wife passed, his world grew quiet. Cooking became a chore. Getting to the market felt like a mountain to climb. At first, the idea of bringing someone into his home felt uncomfortable, too vulnerable, too foreign. But his daughter saw the strain in his eyes and gently encouraged him to try. He met Lisa, a caregiver with a gentle spirit and an easy smile. She now comes 3 times a week. She helps with groceries, tidies up, and knows exactly how Frank likes his coffee: strong, with a splash of cream. Their conversations have become part of his routine. His garden is thriving again, and so is he. This kind of care isn't just about tasks. It's a shield against the quiet dangers of aging alone. Falls that no one sees, skipped meals, creeping loneliness. A good caregiver can spot a subtle shift in your health, keep your spirits lifted, and offer both practical and emotional support. There are many ways to find home-based care. You can hire privately through a network of professionals, or go through a trusted agency that handles screening and training. If cost is a concern, local government programs and nonprofits often provide sliding scale services or financial assistance tailored to your income. The secret is finding someone who fits, not just by skill, but by spirit. Someone who respects your routines, listens to your stories, and makes help feel like a kindness, not an intrusion. For many, home-based care is the missing puzzle piece. The gentle support that makes aging not just possible, but beautiful. Take a moment. Breathe in. Let everything we've explored settle gently in your mind. This isn't just a checklist of options. It's a map leading away from fear and toward freedom. Away from the cold inevitability of institutions and toward a life that still feels like your own. Each path we've shared, co-housing, living companions, home modifications, community programs, and in-home care, offers more than convenience. They offer you choice. They offer you dignity. They offer you the ability to stay rooted in what matters most: your independence, your memories, your rhythm. Aging doesn't have to mean disappearing. It can mean reconnecting with others, with purpose, and with yourself. Let's be honest. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. What works for one person might not fit another. Some may find joy in the energy of a shared home. Others might need just a bit of extra help to keep their independence. And some may discover that connection is just a ride to the community center away. What matters is that the power to choose stays with you. You're not just a passenger on this journey. You're the one holding the compass. Take Richard, Shirley, Margaret, Frank, and Walter. Their stories remind us that there's no shame in asking for help, no weakness in seeking company, and no expiry date on joy. Their lives didn't shrink with age. They expanded because they dared to choose differently. And you can, too. Maybe you've been wondering if it's too late. Maybe you've worried that the options have narrowed, that the best days are behind you. But the truth is, as long as you have breath, you have agency, you have time, you have choices. So take this moment and ask yourself, which path speaks to you? Is it the warmth of shared living, the peace of a safer home, the joy of community, the relief of gentle support? Whatever it is, follow that feeling. Let it guide your next step. Reach out, ask questions, talk to your loved ones, explore programs in your area, make a plan. The smallest decision today could unlock the life you want tomorrow. You deserve more than just survival. You deserve to thrive. And if this video stirred something in you, hope, curiosity, maybe even courage, don't let it stop here. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us which idea lit up your imagination. Or simply say, I'm ready to choose. Your voice might just inspire someone else to take that first brave step. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this resonated with you, consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone who might need it. Because aging well isn't a secret, it's a shared story. And together, we can rewrite what it means to grow older. See you next time. Until then, take care and take charge.